men love that. Like, they fall head over heels for a woman who is set on her boundaries, who is unshakable, and could care less what they're doing. Hello, my pretties. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Brent Sinatra, and I help women use self-love to attract desires galore, dripping in passion, love, and fulfillment. And the best part about that is that it can blanket over all areas of your life. So today we are talking about being selfish. We are having worship me vibes in here today. So being selfish, it is literally your birthright, and it's all of our birthrights. So let's talk about it. When it comes to selfishness, a lot of people, first of all, selfishness gets a bad rap, and I can understand why, but at the same time, why? If you think about it, it's not a problem with someone wanting or desiring something and achieving it. Society makes that seem like it's a bad thing, but those who are making it seem like a bad thing already have their desires. What sense does that even make for us to fall into that trap of saying, okay, well, I'm not going to get what I want so that you can have what you want? It's not fair to ourselves, and that's why being selfish is your birthright. I am full of worship me vibes, and when I say worship me, it's about myself. It's about me putting myself first. It's about self-preservation. It's about self-prioritization. It's about self-love, self-care, all of that stuff. Whereas if we're not giving this stuff to ourselves, how do we expect for others to give it to us too? Being selfish is not a bad thing. Yes, we get that as far as societal norms, we do have those people who definitely make it seem like it's a bad thing, but it's not. There's nothing wrong with wanting things, and there's nothing wrong with getting the things that you want, because somebody has to get it. Why not you? Like, make it make sense. Just like the lottery. Somebody has to win the lottery. Why not you? What good is it doing you and thinking, oh, I can't have this, or I can't want this? It's not, it's just you putting yourself in a box that you don't even deserve to be in, and you really deserve the world. So why not give it to yourself? That's why I truly drip in worship me vibes. Like, I literally treat myself like the queen that I am, all while treating myself like a princess. If you let society tell it, being selfish is probably one of the worst things you can do out here. Like, it's unfortunate that's the narrative, and everyone technically has their place in society. But for me, I decide that my place is going to be up here. I'm not going to choose that, oh, well, somebody might feel away if I'm up here, so let me just be down here. I don't know what this is on my hand. I decide that I'm going to be up here. I'm not going to let society tell me that I'm being selfish or it's a bad thing to want to be up here. So, oh, because it's selfish for me to be up here, let me just come down here with the commoners. For what? Like, the commoners, there's plenty of commoners here. You all bask in that together. I don't understand why we would put ourselves in a position to live less than just so we can please someone else. And the funny thing is with that is that no matter what you do, somebody's not going to like it. You could be giving to the poor. Somebody's going to be like, why did you record that? You could be feeding the needy, and they're going to be like, well, why didn't you give them steak instead? There are so many things that you're going to do in life, and no matter what you do, somebody's not going to like it. So that's why being selfish is your birthright, because regardless, somebody's going to be mad. You might as well do what you want to do. And that doesn't have to mean that you have to do it in lack. Why? You can do it and be as big and bold and take up all the space that you need and desire, because you deserve it. It's not, being selfish isn't the bad word or the bad concept that they make it seem. We all should be selfish, and we all should go after what we want, and we should all do what we want. Yes, you should be considerate of others, but that doesn't mean you have to change your mind. People are responsible for their own lives. They're responsible for their own feelings, their own actions, and how you move within yours is just, it's your business. If someone can't handle it, maybe they're not supposed to be in your lives. Now, that doesn't mean that you can go around hurting people. There are healthy ways to be selfish and unhealthy ways to be selfish. Unhealthy ways are manipulative. Unhealthy ways are conniving, backstabbing, all of those types of things. If that's your definition of selfish, yeah, I'm with the societal norms that selfish is bad. But if you are on the side of selfish where I should be able to say no because I don't want to do this right now, or I don't want to put myself out there like this, or healthy forms of selfishness show up in ways of, I want to go here to eat today. I want to go shopping today. No, I don't want to help you change the oil in the car. Is that selfish because you don't want to change the oil in the car? No, you just don't want to do it. So if you want to call it selfish, call it what you want. But I don't want to change the oil, so I'm not going to change the oil. I am a lady Okay, and you're not going to make me feel bad. You're not going to guilt me from it. Now, there will be people that guilt you into things. So, for example, say you're a wife and a mother, and you had something planned to cook for dinner today. Your husband comes home and says that he wants something else. You're not wrong to say, well, I cooked this and I'm not cooking something else. Especially if you're the one who's going to cook it. There's nothing wrong with saying no. No doesn't need an explanation. No is a full sentence, and you don't owe anybody anything, even people as close as your husband, as your children. You still have to be full of self-preservation, because what's going to happen is, if you say, mind you, say you've made this dinner and you've been cooking for hours, or even if it just took 45 minutes, say you've been cooking and then he comes home and says that he wants something else. If you decide to cook something else, you're going to be upset, you're going to be full of resentment, and you're probably going to be running around with an attitude, moping, something like that. So how about we just be the B word the first time? And so we could just say no and then let him handle his emotions, because that's what he's responsible for. And then me handling my emotions by saying no, and me saying no from the get-go, we don't have that clash, because I said no, you just have to accept it. Versus you say what you want, and I'm just like, oh, well, okay, and now I'm mad. How does that feel good for me? How does that help me? It doesn't help me. It makes me full of resentment. And that's something that you don't want to feel for the people that you love. You don't want to feel that. So if self-preservation is being selfish, then so be it. But we have to put ourselves in these positions to win. And when we're putting everyone else above ourselves and the things that we want and the things that we desire and the things that we need truly on the inside, we're not helping ourselves, and we're not helping anyone around us. Because as a woman, most of you know, especially those with families, as a woman, you know that you are the heart of the household. And when you are not in the right state of mind, the whole house can feel it. Your husband can feel it. The kids even can low-key feel it. And how is that helpful for the household? If you had the right amount of selfishness from the get-go, we wouldn't even be in the situation, because I already cooked. I already said that, I'm not making this. And so we either all eat this or don't. But at the same time, I'm not cooking again. And so holding on to your boundaries is okay. People will try to guilt you. People will try to shame you. And it can even be a very small, teensy tiny situation. And it really doesn't matter how small it is or how big it is. You deserve to get what you want out of life. Being selfish is your birthright. And so stop looking at selfish in a negative light, because it's not negative. Look at it as if it was your own child. What would you want your child to say? Would you want your child to be a people pleaser their whole life? No, you wouldn't. Would you want your child, or would you want to be put on the back burner for the sake of someone else? No. Do you want to live living that life is such a disservice to yourself, and being bold enough to stand up for yourself and say, this is what I want, and standing firm on it. People can't do anything but respect it. They may not like it. They might not like it, but they will respect it. And they will respect that you have boundaries, and they will respect that you do what you're going to say you're going to do, and that no one can shake that. That's one thing that, especially men, they respect when people have boundaries. That's one of the ways I found my husband, because it's like, okay, well, bye, like you can leave. And it's like, I don't know what it did, but to him, it was the fact that I had boundaries is what hooked him into me. And I didn't mean for that to happen. I was just being myself and just doing and operating out of how I wanted to move and what I needed out of life. And at certain times, he was not a part of what I needed. And this, I'm talking about well before we were married. But yeah, he wasn't a part of what I needed. And I would just simply let him know, like, okay, well, thanks for coming over, but you can go now. I've had enough social interactions today. So thanks for coming by. He's like, oh, well, yeah, I'm gonna stay the night one night. No, you're not. It's how it went. And so I guess that made him respect me more and things like that, where it's like, I said what I said and I meant what I said, and I'm not changing what I said. And you can be upset about it. That's on you. But this is what I want, and this is what's happening. So over here, this is what I got going on. Over there, do what you got to do to cope, whatever, it's on you. But remember, as a woman, when you are operating in too much selflessness, you can burn out really easy. Like I mentioned, the people pleasing. You can really just put yourself in a lot of experiences and situations that you could have completely avoid it by just saying no or by just following what you wanted to do. And it's not fair to you. It's not fair to you. As a woman, we have to be courageous enough to speak up and to speak out and to feel into what we need and go for what we need, even if we're standing alone. We have to allow others to self-regulate. We have to allow others to feel how they want to feel. Just the same way that people aren't going to like the things we do, it's the same as other people as well. So it's just like, if you have to be upset with my decision to do things the way I want to do it, that's fine. Handle yourself, and then you can come back to me, whatever. But that's on them. It's not on you to convince them to feel better. It's not on you to try to make them feel better. It's not on you to try to rectify the situation. Your part in this is following your desires and doing what you want to do. And as long as you're not being malicious and hurting people and manipulating, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's what's called putting yourself first. That's real self-care. That's real self-love. We should all worship ourselves. Truly, we should worship ourselves, because the thing is that when you worship yourself, others do too. And that's a little hack that I don't know who been keeping it, but it's a game changer. It truly is a game changer, and people will literally worship and adore you. People will literally worship and adore you, and I can attest to that myself. And this is from someone who have come a long way in my healing journey, and I see the way that people react to when you're being selfish and when you are going after what you want. And honestly, men love that. Like, they fall head over heels for a woman who is set on her boundaries, who is unshakable, and could care less what they're doing. It's like it makes the hunt more intense for them or something. It's really funny, because it's like things that you would think would kind of turn them off because maybe you're being difficult or whatever like that. But meanwhile, it's just like they won't leave you alone. They literally low-key become obsessed. This isn't to make them obsessed with you, but just the obsession that you have with yourself, it becomes a mirror, and other people kind of follow suit. So it's just like, yeah, I'm putting myself first. Yeah, I'm doing what I want to do. Why wouldn't I? And then everybody just follows. And the next thing you know, you just look behind and see a trail of bodies. Not really, not literally. But not really. Really. Following your own bliss is the best thing that you could do for yourself. Just remember to be consistent. Just remember to put yourself first and allow others to be upset with you, because that's none of your business. Just like others' opinions is none of your business, how others feel about the things that you're doing is also none of your business. So run with that and don't look back. Don't look back. Once you get a taste of that, you're going to understand what I mean, and you're not going to change it for the world. And you'll see that, hey, I don't care how anybody feels about it. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to enjoy it, because why wouldn't I? That's what life is for, to enjoy. So just like life is here for me to enjoy, it's for other people to enjoy too. So if everybody just follows their own bliss and their own happiness, and are selfish with themselves, their time, their love, and all of these things, we would be in so much of a better place. So what I want you to do is work on being as selfish, as healthily selfish as you want to be, and build your selfish muscle. Build that muscle up where you get used to saying no. You get used to saying, actually, I want to do this. Get used to having opinions and preferences and answers to questions and decisions and all of these things. Get used to it. Always have one. Always have something in your back pocket. And I'm not saying go and be difficult. If something doesn't matter to you, that's fine as well. No one's saying you have to have a decision right here in a moment. But if it comes down to needing to make a decision, yes, make one. But just remember to be consistent. Put yourself first. In the comments below, give me 3 ways that you are going to practice being selfish, okay? I will tell you my 3. I'm going to start using no more, because no is a full sentence, and I'm not going to give an explanation because I don't owe anybody one. I am also going to work on deciding what I want to do with my time. So as a mother and a wife, a lot of times your time is spread very thin, but I'm going to make sure that I prioritize there to be mommy time, where I am just by myself and doing what I want to do. And third, I can't think of a third one, but I'm sure I will come up with something and be able to show, come up with something, some sort of self-care activity, that I'm going to be committed to, and this is outside of my mommy time. So something else that I'm going to be able to go and do and feel and just enjoy myself. So yeah, write down what's going to be yours, even if you can only come up with one, because I only pretty much came up with two. So write down below what you're going to do to practice your selfishness and your worship me vibes. Write down in the comments below how you're going to worship yourself, aka how are you going to be selfish? What ways are you going to prove to yourself that you are worthy, and to start changing the narrative that you are a valuable, worthy, beautiful being out here, that you deserve the world and everything that you want inside of it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. For those who made it to the end, thank you so much. I love you, and I will see you next time. Bye.